Modern medical science has provided the world with many miraculous cures for illness and disease. And it seems that something new is being discovered every day. But medical science can't always provide everything that's needed to save a life. Sometimes it takes something more, a miracle. And when that happens, all you can do is wait and pray, because no one ever knows when or where a miracle will happen. In January of 1993, 36-year-old Rodney DeBon was the epitome of good health.
Oh, yeah!
I was 155 pounds. I could bench press 275, and I was playing 3 basketball leagues a week. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink. I was guaranteed to live to be 90 years old.
And then, a month later, Rodney became ill.
I was pretty sick for a couple of days. I just had flu symptoms. Eventually, in a few days, I got feeling better. Went back to playing basketball. But my endurance just didn't seem quite to be the same. I couldn't run up and down the basketball court for more than about 4 or 5 minutes without needing to come out.
By the end of the basketball season, Rodney's health was deteriorating rapidly, and his wife, Isabel, was deeply concerned.
When he would lay down, he felt like he'd have pressure on his chest. And he told me, I just can't lay down. I have to go sleep in the recliner. And that was when I finally said, just get on to the doctor. I said, this is not normal.
I consider him one of the finest.
Rodney was referred to a cardiologist, and after a series of tests, received some shocking news.
What you have is a cardiomyopathy. Basically, what that is heart failure.
Heart failure?
I couldn't imagine what he was talking about. What does all that mean? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, where am I? And I thought he was going to say, well, you're a 6 or a 7, because you can fix a 6 or a 7.
Optimistically, maybe a 2.
Which means the day I got diagnosed, I'd lost 88% of my heart.
So what do we do to fix it?
Now, I've always been an eternal optimist, and I wasn't prepared for the next answer.
I wish I could say we could do something, but we can't.
And he said the only thing we can do is a heart transplant. In my wildest imaginations, I wouldn't dream that 2 hours earlier I was going to be told I needed a heart transplant.
Now, I've contacted Dr. Lonnie Whitten.
The doctor referred Rodney to one of the top heart transplant specialists in the United States, Dr. Lonnie Whitten.
He had a poor outlook in terms of survival. We were concerned that he would survive even a few months. The chances of getting a donor organ in a few months' time are not good. Many people wait for a year or longer for an appropriate or suitable donor organ for heart transplantation.
Rodney was given only 6 months to live, but his heart could stop functioning at any moment without any warning.
I went to bed every night, not knowing if I was going to wake up. It'd be 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning before I'd actually go to sleep. And subconsciously, I think I put off going to sleep because of that.
My time to cry was back in the shower, because the boys couldn't see me. I wouldn't upset him. And then there was a few times that he would catch me. I'd be back there crying and trying to accept it.
You need to have a talk with Heath.
Isabel came to me one morning and said, that I probably needed to have a more in-depth talk with Heath, our oldest son.
He asked me if his dad was going to die. I don't know what to tell him.
How you doing, big guy?
Pretty good.
Yeah. The doctor's given me about 6 months to live. So
To sit down with your 11-year-old son and look him in the eye and say, I might not be here.
you might have to take care of your mom and your little brother for a while. Okay? You can be the man of the house.
So that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. So that night, about midnight, I decided to seek some help, and I didn't know where to look for it. I hadn't read the Bible much in my life, and I just let it fall open. And it fell open to a page in Psalms. It said, "My heart fails within me, and show me the number of my days, and man, that is best is just a whisper." And I said, God, if you'll let me be here, I'll give up everything that I'm doing and devote the rest of my life, just whatever you want.
Just give me my life back.
Rodney's prayer that night would soon be answered in a miraculous and unexpected way. The conclusion, when it's a miracle, continues. When Rodney DeBon became ill in 1993, he had no idea of the severity of his condition until he was diagnosed with a degenerative heart disease. Given only months to live, Rodney's name was placed on an organ donor list. But as time ran out, Rodney, who was not a religious man, turned to the Bible for a sign.
Hello.
Hey, Rodney, it's Ken.
And the very next day, he received a phone call from his friend, Ken Johnson, who'd had a sign of his own.
He said, Rodney, I woke up this morning and I was told I was going to find you a heart. So, well, okay, you know, I'll take the help, but I don't know what you can do. He knew God wanted him to do something.
Look, it's my purpose now. I'm going to find you a heart, Rodney, I promise.
That was his mission, and he was going to find me a heart.
Soon after his phone call, Ken began stopping by to see Rodney.
Hey, Rodney, how you doing?
On one of these visits, he brought along a
This
friend,
is my friend.
Lucky William Bramlett.
How do you do, Rodney? I've heard a lot of good things about you.
The first time I met Rodney,
Folks, I promise.
his skin was pale, he was very
I
weak.
think you'll enjoy.
He didn't look real good.
Yeah.
I was in a situation where even having conversation was tiring.
I really appreciate you guys coming today, but I'm kind of feeling a little tired.
Hey, look, no problem.
He and Mr. Bramlett stayed for a couple of hours, and then they left.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
It was a short visit. Nothing profound was discussed. And yet it was a meeting that would deeply affect both Rodney and Lucky Bramlett's lives. Several weeks later, Lucky's grandson, David Nicholas, was involved in a serious motorcycle accident that left him brain dead with no hope of recovery. That same night, David's grandfather, Lucky, experienced an extraordinary calling.
I was laying there really heartbroken over my grandson, and all of a sudden I just stopped.
What's the matter with you?
And I told my wife that I know somebody that needs that heart.
Ken's friend Rodney needs a heart.
Lucky's astounding resolution to donate his grandson's heart to Rodney was accepted by the entire Nicholas family. Rodney was astonished by their generosity.
I didn't know what to say. I felt terrible for the Nicholas family. At the same time, I realized mentally, instantly, that I might not be leaving my kids.
It was amazing news for Rodney and his family. But before Dr. Whidden could perform the operation, David's heart would have to pass a series of tests to confirm that it was actually suitable for transplantation.
I tried to reassure Rodney and also comfort him to expect maybe that things wouldn't work out. There are a lot of variables that go into this. The organ may not be suitable for donation. There may be problems with blood studies, compatibility, that would make it unlikely.
It was a stormy night in October when the DeBon family received the call they'd been waiting for.
Immediately I knew, well, that's it, that's the hospital.
Hello?
Ruth Button, who was transplant coordinator at this hospital, she said, well, Rodney, how quickly can you get to the hospital? And I said, well, 30 minutes. She said, well, come on in, we're gonna try a transplant.
Okay.
Later that night, Dr. Whidden retrieved David Nicholas' healthy heart, and in the wee hours of the next morning, he transplanted it into Rodney's chest. Rodney made a miraculous recovery and was released from the medical center just 9 days after the transplant.
He ran a marathon soon after his operation. That was quite remarkable to all of us. And I've seen things that make me believe that people with strong faith usually come through these things better than those without strong faith.
In 1996, Rodney decided to share his miracle with others by establishing the David Nicholas Organ Donor Awareness Foundation. David's sister, Becky Nicholas, works alongside Rodney on a daily basis.
I get to spend every day with him, and that in itself is amazing. To be able to see him and to know that David's inside of there. If I need a little bit of my brother, I know all I have to do is go up to Rodney and feel of his chest, and there's a precious heartbeat there that's David in both of them.
The Nicholas family is the most remarkable family in the entire world. David's mom and dad, we're together all the time, go on vacations together, but every second they see me, they know that I'm here and their son's not. I realize that when you wake up in the morning, you've been given the gift. I had 2 wonderful kids and the best wife in the world, and I do owe my life to a miracle. Absolutely.